Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Legacies. This is episode 5 of season 4. Hopefully guys are enjoying the series so far. I mean, how can you not be enjoying it? You know, that is honestly quite possibly the best episode that we have had from Legacies in season 4 as well, mate. So you think we have 4 seasons in and we have just had the best episode that they've ever produced. It was so good. It was so chaotic. I can't wait to see what happens today. You know, Hope has finally transitioned over to being the Tribid. She looked absolutely amazing. Obviously we started the episode with her captured from Malavo, and his plan was to defeat her pretty much while she was in the transition phase, that he just wanted to keep her locked up, wait until she drained out, didn't get the human blood, and that is how she would die. She would desiccate. That's very smart, to be honest. It's a really clever play, but she ended up breaking the glass and escaping. Now obviously Rick as well was trying to get Hope. He was trying to help her, so he turned up into like the train yard. Caleb was there. Obviously he's been like enhanced now. He's got like wings. He's a dragon / vampire. Ethan as well, he has been transitioned over. He's took some of the Malvo mud, and he can like turn invisible now. They recruited other people from the Joe public as well, and Rick had to go on an epic fight with them all. Hope, obviously, like I said, escaped, and as she come to try and save Rick, she was pretty much out of strength. She collapsed on the floor, and obviously after Rick successfully defeated quite a lot of them, he ran over and boom, that's it. He dropped her his blood, and she has activated the side. All the sky went a different colour. Malavo was there. He was crapping it. Hope went after him, mate. Honestly, her vampire teeth come out, her eyes changed. She done a bit of vampirism, then she done a bit of magic. It was so good, and then we cut, and then she transitioned into a wolf. She chased Malavo down. Obviously, he's really scared. She fashioned her own blade, mate. She bit her arm, let the blood trickle down, and then transitioned it over into a knife. Now Malavo, panicking on his last legs, decided to go inside of Landon's body into his conscience and bring out standard Landon, which was interesting, because then this Landon was like, look, Hope, I know what you have to do. I know you've transitioned over into the Tribid, and I know this is what you do not want to hear, but you have to take me out. You have to kill me. By doing that, you're going to defeat Malavo, and obviously I'm going to go, but you're going to do it for the greater good. She was so reluctant to do it, but in the end, she did. She stabbed him in his heart, and obviously Landon collapsed to the floor. What was, again, interesting is inside of Malavo, Cleo was there. She worked with Landon. They created like a prison. She was pretending it was a door, and that was a way of escaping. Malavo, pretending to be Landon the whole time, waited until she finished, then he pushed her out the way, and he tricked her to say, I'm Malavo, and she was like, well, unlucky for you, because I knew that you was Malavo, and I'm not going to fall for your same tricks twice. Boom, locked him up into a cell. Then obviously the witches, we had Joseph and Lizzie and all that doing magic on the outside, trying to extract Cleo from it, and they successfully done it, mate. They pulled Cleo out of Malavo. She's back in the present. Malavo got locked up. It seems like that's been destroyed. Landon's dead. He's fell on the floor. It's all crazy. And, Lizzie was getting closer to MJ as well. I thought he was going to get a kiss. Like I said, Caleb is kind of back in the present now. He is lost from Malavo's, I was going to say, compulsion, and obviously he's back here. He's still obviously got feelings for Cleo, and going to go on a little date, and it's really interesting because obviously Landon's been killed. Hope ended up having a conversation with Rick at the end. She was saying, look, mate, I have to call you here on your own because I've had to turn it off. He's like, no, you can't do that. She's like, mate, my humanity's off, and if you're gonna stop me, you're gonna find the consequences. So, it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited. Honestly, I can't believe I had to wait like a week for it, but it is hopefully gonna be worth it, because last episode was amazing, and hopefully we steamroll on now into another amazing storyline. So thanks so much for clicking on today's episode. Hopefully, guys, enjoy it. If you do, please smash a like. Really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into episode 5 of season 4 of Legacies.
If this is about the moaning coming from my dorm room last night, it seems to have stopped.
It's not. Is there an adult I can speak to?
I'll go wake him up.
You're Alaric Saltzman's daughter? I'm afraid I have some bad news.
You scared me. I thought that you left. What do you want to do today?
Cleo's back.
thanks to you. So I think we should celebrate.
I'm excited for these two. Oh, there we go.
From what you've told me, the last two guys that crashed here are dead.
This room belonged to a vampire by the name of Stefan Salvatore.
Landon made the ultimate hero move.
We'll assign you your permanent room after you talk to Dr. Saltzman. You, me, and Lizzie at the same school. What could go wrong?
Oh, he's sad.
Lizzie needs you.
Inspiration strikes at strange times.
I'm glad to hear that, because I could damn sure use some. I was trying to think of some way to make up for it. You know, I mean, you straight up tried to murder Hope, and now you're part of the squad. So that was that joke.
They will understand, as they did when I told them my story.
What is she creating, though? She's a creator, isn't she?
This isn't right. Now his life is in the hands of doctors who aren't even smart enough to know what an actual animal attack looks like. MG's blood could fix whatever is wrong with Dad in a second, if he makes it off the table. No one here takes us seriously. The staff won't even tell us what's going on, except that our father was assaulted, maybe hit by a car.
Dad's gonna pull through. There's no reason to think of any other outcome.
Can we just acknowledge, though, that, like, Hope has actually attacked him? I know she said it last episode, like, she had to kind of, like, make a statement, but she's done it, mate. She's actually gone through with it. Now, that is savage, isn't it? I don't know if... we seen Caroline be savage when they took Sarah Salvatore, and then she was like, yeah, mate, chop her up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, she was trying to get Stefan, obviously, but it wasn't to a character that she liked, she loved. It was somebody else affecting a character that she was trying to get. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Hope's directly just kind of like attacked her dad. Obviously, Klaus is a dad, but he's kind of raised her the whole time, and he's a father figure here. And, you know, the first two seasons kind of, it was like bouncing off these and Hope about how, like, they was jealous that she was spending more time with the dad than them. And now, if you look at it, after Rick's done everything for her, and like, obviously she had to do the sacrifice to go over to the Tribrid, she's turned the emotions off, and she's just go, boom, mate, attacked Rick. It's crazy. And obviously these must know it's happened as well, because she's not dumb. You know, they're stupid enough to know what an animal attack is. That's what they blame it on every time, don't they, Mystic Falls?
He's stable.
Thank God. Okay, when can we see him?
More importantly, when can you see him?
Soon.
We just had what happened.
Where's Hope?
Is there a problem or something?
Several. None worth wasting my breath on.
Grab me a bottle of tequila. I'm gonna need a chaser. You'll do.
Mate, I think Hope looks good, man. She looks really pretty.
Mind if I cut in?
Is that Rebecca? Oh, her face looks so good. Get in there, son, mate. Oh, she took the cure, or what? Is she a vampire? Don't know.
It's been too long, little one. Look, lady, I know you have a fancy accent and all, so maybe you don't get it. You don't seem to want you here. Very fancy.
Yeah, she's a vampire.
Country music is for garbage people. Run along and change it, will you? Shall we make up for lost time?
How, a Michelson family lecture?
Here you are looking at me like I'm an old. Dear God, please tell me I used that right. A drink, for starters.
Hey, mate, a double drink. Wow, Hope's looking good. Like, she just looks like she's changed personalities. Oh.
Thank you for the save. Why aren't you at the hospital?
Being in a relationship with a Saltzman sister means realizing you aren't a Saltzman sister.
How do you manage being with a Saltzman?
But are we theoretically talking about Lizzie? Then damn, dude, you do need help.
I'd like to do something for her. Let her know that she's not alone in this.
No, man, I don't mind you, Ethan, at all. But I very much dislike you and Lizzie relationship. It needs to be MG and Lizzie. I'll never change that. I'm literally that team all the way.
Hope's not at the school, and obviously I missed something big while I was gone.
Doc's in a coma. Our blood. I can't wake Dr. Saltzman up.
And they said that we won't know what we're dealing with until Dad wakes up.
Perhaps there is a way to wake Dr. Saltzman and learn what happened to him. The same one you used to reach me when I was trapped in Malfoy's mind.
Head dive.
But for all we know, a monster could have attacked Dad, so sorry, Caleb, but I'm not willing to trust someone who sold us out to Malivore.
I deserved every bit of that.
You
I just
probably
wish there
did
was something
deserve
I
it.
could do.
Because if Elizabeth is right and there's another monster out there, Dr. Saltzman isn't the only person you wronged who might be in danger.
Aren't you gonna finish your drink?
Oh, she's gonna die, ain't she?
I've had quite enough of that.
Leave.
Forget everything that happened here today. But always remember that country music is awful. Please come home with me. You have no idea what I'm going through. What am
Well,
I
that's
missing?
the biggest lie ever.
Is being a tribrid really that different than being a vampire?
This isn't about what you're missing, Antibax.
Your humanity.
Her acting's been good, Hopes. I can't believe he's in a coma.
It's
Come on,
too
Rick.
late. My humanity switch flipped the second that sword went through Landon.
Why did you bring me here?
Just send a message. Make sure that my Little friends stay away too.
I'll make it loud and clear.
You were only holding me back. So I finally realized I am my father's daughter.
Ah, that's what I want. No, I'm not gonna lie, just not hitting Rick. Oh, that is brutal.
Dad. Wake up, Dad. I would kill her.
I mean, I like your
I
optimism.
think that's possible. If you want to protect our friends, it's better if they don't know. Because they'll go after her.
Oh, it's a tough
She'd
one. That.
probably murder them too.
In the memory, he came from over there.
What the hell went that way?
I thought it's been a good episode with me so far. I think everyone's acting's been really good. I think everybody's acting's been really good. I think Hope is, oh mate, she's doing a good job at being this side, this humanity off. You can tell that it's a different Hope completely. I love it. They've got to milk the face. They've got to show the face transition consistently. We've waited 4 seasons for it. Just got to constantly do it. Keep churning it out. Keep reiterating to us that she's a vampire. She's looking good. Now, I want her to be a father's daughter. 100%. I ain't got no problems with being that character. I've always wanted it. An absolute savage, but not to your friends. Yeah. Like, you can be to everyone else, not your friends.
This isn't a memory. This is an actual nightmare.
Our 11th birthday party.
We got into a fight with Dad because we invited everybody but Hope. Then he brought her anyway, and she turned our cake filling into worms. Why would Dad want to revisit this disaster?
This is the day he realized that Hope was evil.
Then you're about to
Now
find
we're gonna
out.
find out,
Because
yeah.
if you're right, it's where he should be.
Man was the best part.
Responsible? Reckless?
They get to have their own party. Their whole family comes.
But yours can't.
So what am I supposed to do when Lizzie and Josie are mean to me?
Be stronger than them.
Good as being strong if I have to hide it.
Look, I know it's hard.
Can I go back to my room now?
A new art exhibit at the museum in town.
But I love art. It reminds me of my dad.
And maybe if you can find the beauty in that, you'll be able to find the beauty in what we've just talked about too.
Maybe you were right, and we don't need to be here. Our dad's practically on his deathbed, and all he is thinking about is how he could have been a better father to Hope.
I like how they use the old Hope.
Where are we supposed to go next?
It's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
No one craves tetanus this much.
What I crave is freedom.
When your emotions are heightened, being a vampire can be indescribably beautiful. What's the point if you don't appreciate it?
I mean, you tell me. You're the one who wants to be human again.
I've experienced everything the world has to offer, except those experiences that being a vampire makes impossible. But I would gladly give up that dream. I would give you the cure if you wanted it. I'm a hypocrite.
Hey, Dagger.
I always hated it when Nicholas did this to me.
Can't open this school if it means admitting Hope Michelson, and you know it. This girl might be the most powerful supernatural who ever existed, and she's a ticking time bomb.
Think about all the good Hope is capable of doing if we don't screw it up.
He always acts dead stubborn, doesn't he? Do you not think? I wonder what brought him round.
What do you think changed his mind?
Maybe the next memory will finally show us something useful. We were hot on his heels. Why'd you pull us out?
I didn't.
God.
Oh, his nosebleed. He better pull through, honestly. If anyone's decided to kill Rick, I need to find who wrote that.
The doctor said that Dad had a hemorrhagic stroke.
Which is just a fancy way of saying that his brain is bleeding.
His brain is still showing signs of activity, and he may be able to hear us for a little while.
There's no point in you two following your father around. We have to get you ahead of him.
How?
I think I know exactly where Dr. Saltzman's gonna go.
Maybe one of us should stay here in case he,
There's another outcome.
I don't want Rick to die. I'll be absolutely livid. No joke.
Then I'll go with you.
Oh.
The vampire aunt showed up, then I know. I overstepped, and I was always supposed to keep an eye on her. If you're so scared of her...
Just bring the girl to us.
Oh, wow. Who was that? Who was that on the phone?
This was your big idea, sending us 10 feet?
When he was born?
Where Joe and I were born. But you still screwed up. If you think my father is gonna come.
Elizabeth.
Oh. Hey, MG there, smashing it.
Though by the looks on your faces, I'd say things aren't going too well in the real world.
So, you know what's going on?
There haven't been too many highlights up to this point, but seeing you sure makes up for it.
Come back with us.
I'm not sure I can. On the other side of this door, I am holding you and your sister for the very first time. It was, without question, the happiest day of my life. It was a complicated delivery.
It was, wasn't it?
I guess I always thought I had more time.
Hope's a mad in
can
on
stop
this
moving
episode.
so much. Those eyes are eye.
Don't you want to know why I'm here? Because you're the hunted, not the hunter.
You see, I'm an apex predator. Nobody hunts me.
It's not a tattoo, it's a brand. It's a mark of allegiance.
Triad. You're a little late. I shut that place down a while ago.
Not a place. You're their purpose, tribrid. A new breed of monster in their eyes.
Hey, wait, you can't kill me.
No, I'm going to. I'm literally doing it right now.
But I'll take you to them.
Anybody ever told you you're not a great henchman?
Person you should be looking for is...
Really good. No, before we go into that, because it's getting intense, I'm really happy with that. It looks like we kind of diverting away from Malvo a little bit, which is good, because you always can like think who and how are we going to integrate a new villain, or do you know what I mean, like a new bad air into it. And up to this point here, I never even thought of how you could do it, but like that there, just saying that is so good. It fits. Yeah, she's like, Malvo's defeated. They're like, yeah, well, he is, but the people that, you know, created him, so to speak, you're the monster now in their eyes, and now they want you defeated. It is so easy to do, so simple, makes total sense. And now you've got factions teaming up to go against her, so now she has become the hunted, and you know what I mean, it's so good. I actually really do like it. And this guy was about to reveal a name, and his little own triad tattoo or whatever branding mark that he's been scarred with has just set himself on fire. Like, I'm actually really excited for it. You know, it does. Obviously, just off the face of that one conversation, we might be straying away from Malvo. Not completely, but like, yeah. Instead of having monsters coming out of Malvo and attacking everybody, now we've got people that think that Hope is too strong and they want to take her down. Kind of like how Greta did, and all them went after, obviously, Haley and they wanted to go after Hope, didn't they, in the end of the originals. It's kind of happening again. They see her as as like too superior. She's the monster now. She needs to be taken down. So again, I'm really excited. I'm actually very excited. I'm very, very interested to see what's happening with Rick, because I will be so disappointed if he's not in the series. I actually really like him. We've got no adult characters at all apart from Rick. Yeah. And also, I would like Landon to be in the series. Now, he doesn't have to be in it consistently because we have been told that he's dead, but we did see Malvo or whatever with the Necromancer in the afterlife or in Limbo in the end of the last episode, so they can still play a factor into the series, which is well good, because I feel like they're going to team up. They use a conversation of we, and I feel like they might team up to try and get out.
School. My whole life after this day became about one thing: making sure you remained protected even after I was gone.
Why you let Hope join the Salvatore school?
How big of a risk it was. Yeah, but then I just started seeing it another way. I figured if you both turned out as well as you have, in spite of being raised by me, so could she. The kind that would do anything for each other, you know, in case something happened to your mother or me. So please forgive me, Lizzie. And you too, Milton. The danger I've put you in.
If you need that, of course. I forgive you, Dr. Saltzman.
So you can forget about walking off into the light or disappearing into the darkness. You need to come back with us.
I'm sorry for when I wasn't there for you and your sister. For not telling you more often how perfect I think you both are in my eyes. For leaving you in a world more dangerous than before. But I know you figured it out. Better than I could. You take care of each other no matter what.
Place reeks of blood and smoke. Hope's gone.
But I'll have you know this does not count as our first dates. Sometimes we laugh so we don't cry. Having you here seems easier. No matter how daunting a task may be.
Cool. Because I'm not going anywhere. This is how we do it where I'm from.
Sometimes the old ways are better.
With a kiss.
Lizzie and Josie are staying with Dr. Saltzman until visiting hours.
Look, I know it's my first day, but Finch and I wanted to do something.
What I think is that the school is already better for having you here. But I need to tell you something.
Oh, I love Lizzie.
It's about Lizzie.
MG, no, you're the other guy.
Is that gonna make things weird between us? Because the day's gonna come where I tell her exactly how I feel.
But until then, and hopefully after, I don't see why we can't keep being friends.
See, I don't mind that conversation at all, right? But but Ethan should stand down. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he never actually, right? He should have said, look, mate, I know you're the other guy. You've been wildy-won't there for ages. You've just admitted to me that you're going to tell her how you feel one day, like, you're going to tell her you love her, right? That should be enough for Ethan to say, look, I'll step away. And then if she says no, then I'll see, you know, if we're okay. He kind of was like, We'll see how it goes. She might pick me, she might pick you. Hopefully we're still friends after it though. That was the conversation. That's how I took that vibe. Like, if that was my friend and he was saying, look mate, I've been on and off or hoping to go out with some girl mate for years. I know like you're kind of it's kind of like the Raph situation and Landon when it was Hope. Raph was really into Hope, but he knew Landon was, so he didn't take any steps. He didn't want to get in the way of their happiness. Yeah, Ethan's come along. He realizes that obviously he's fancying Liz there, but she's kind of fancying MG. He's fancying her, but it's kind of like blah blah blah, you know. And then he's just like, well, I'll still go for it anyway. Do you know what I mean? And that's the only part I don't like about that. That's it.
Should have been there. All I could do was watch as he slowly slipped away. And I should have told you that I wanted you to stay behind instead. And I need to get better at things like that because when I don't, they have a way of staying with me.
I'm selfish. And I don't say that enough. Forgive me. I will find a way to bring Dad back.
It's mad, this dynamic here with these. I hope Rebecca's in it more than just one episode.
Oh, this is gonna be awkward. Are you really just gonna leave me here? Dumped on the side of the road like garbage.
Well, my first instinct was to leave you in the alley. What good is family if they just stab you in the back?
She stabbed you in the heart.
I had to try. Nick would have.
He's dead, so maybe you should try to stop being like him. Care about our family? Stay away from me.
He'd be so ashamed.
This is how you found me, isn't it? It's spelled probably by Freya. Always and forever. I'll keep your car.
Hope Michelson.
Speaking. And you are?
That would spoil the fun.
I'm coming for you.
Not soon enough. I'll be waiting.
I think it's well good. It's literally, right, we've got a person on the other side calling the shots, going after Hope anonymously. But she's on the phone call to her as well, yeah, and she's just giving it large as well. So, I mean, I am really excited. Now, I think that they need to get Freya in and Rebecca again a few more times. Now, I have been consistent with it. I don't want it to transition into the originals, but you need trigger points, don't you? We've seen it all the time. You need triggering to get your humanity back on. You have no control of it. Like, most people, when it's off, they have to get in flux with emotion, absolutely bombarded so much where it just releases back. And, like, we need the Michelsons now. Like, you know, Landon's not here. He's dead. Well, part of the story. Rick, she's put him in a coma. So, like, let's just say he's dead. Yeah, so he's gone. Now, yeah, okay, there's people in the school. You know, you got friends like Lizzie, Josie, and, I don't know, Jed, Wade, Caleb, and Cleo, but they're not going to trigger the switch to come back on, is there? Now, you've got Rebecca here. She was trying. Memories flicking a little bit. You could tell that she was, you know, having a good go. But we need more, yeah? Who can we get in that's going to flick it? Now, I think that we do need to dive over into the originals, maybe for 1 or 2 episodes. We need to possibly get Marcel in, you know, like Marcel, Freya, and Rebecca. They need to, do you know what I mean? Like, feed her all this info about family, united, always and forever. About Hayley, you know, how important that necklace is, why that it's been spelled, because we're always tracking you, because we love you, we're always going to look after you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, all of this needs to be from the old characters, because they're the ones that she's got a solid connection to. Now, I mean, there could be another way of turning humanity switch on, which I can't remember right now, because physically I'm just acting straight after the episode, but most of the time it is being influxed with a lot of memories that make you turn it on without, like, you know, you kind of want, like Caroline, you know, hers got come back on because of the emotions that they done with her mum, and how much she really badly wanted that letter at the end, and you know what I mean, it broke her, and it turned back on. And so this is what's really interesting. Now, I am really happy that we kind of, it looks like moving away from the Malifaux storyline, not moving away from it, but usually for the past 4 seasons, or the 3 seasons at start, we've had monsters coming in, attacking everybody, because obviously that's just a Malifaux story. Now we've got somebody on the other side sending hitmen to get Hope. How good is that? Because they see her as a superior threat. That's really exciting for me. It's transitioning over into a new baddie. Now, Hope's acting's been pretty good as well. I could tell that she's changed. Her personality's gone darker. Her acting's gone really good. And again, I thought it was a great episode. Obviously, last episode was the best one. I think you'd be struggling to top the last episode, because we got what we've always wanted for so long, the transition, and they bossed it. But this episode was great. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you could consistently keep episodes as strong as this throughout the season, we're in for an amazing one. Because I think that this season has possibly started the best. Yeah, I have to even... you got to call it a spade, haven't you? A spade. Mate, it is literally probably the best start to a season that we've had. And we're on the 4th one as well. So to me, that is amazing. Okay, and that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. How good was it to see Rebekah back? You know, obviously she wasn't in loads of scenes, but it's so good to see a bit of old faces, a bit of nostalgia. And she is good. I love Rebekah, you know. She was one of my, like, I was gonna say, dark horses. I've always enjoyed her, whether it's in the Vampire Diaries or the originals. And I was kind of disappointed when obviously she left the originals for quite a bit of time, but I've always enjoyed her character, her personality. She had one of the sick episodes, mate, when she went on absolute madden when she was infected and she went after Haley and she was telling all these truths. Oh, she was spitting fire. It was sick. And yeah, I've always loved Claire Holt. So it's really nice to see her back. Like I was just saying there in a little bit of the outro, like I do feel like maybe something to do with the Michelsons and the family and Marcel and Freya and all that need to be kind of brought into the show a little bit. We don't have to focus on them loads because, like I said, Rebekah, yeah, she wasn't in this a lot. Probably 5 minutes out of the whole episode, which is fine. It literally is fine. That is all it needs to be. But we need some sort of connection to her past to bring her back into the present. You know, like she needs to get in touch with those memories, those feelings. Maybe she can find some information that Landon is actually not dead, and that is what will trigger it. I think the whole thing has happened because she thinks Landon's dead, and what Rebekah said to her is, from the conversation we had, it seems like you had no control of turning it off in the first place. It just happened. She went bang, humanity was gone. She didn't have control of it. It was just all that, like, what have I just done? It's just turned it off. I was like, right, I actually don't care. Now, fight with Rick was absolutely savage, you know, like she didn't care at all. Even when he was down, she stood on his back, winded him, took him out, put him in a coma. It looks like he's drifting away. He's possibly going to die, you know. His brain's bleeding. It's crazy. We've had a head dive. You know, MG was there for Lizzie. They went in, they've spoken to him. He's apologised for all the stuff in his past and, you know, spending loads of time with, like, Hope and not enough time with her. But the way he's seen it is that he was protecting them. Like, the more that they could integrate Hope into society and the two twins become friends with Hope, that whenever Rick's gone or whether he's found himself in trouble and he goes and he lets them down, you know, they've always got their own little family to be be together. So I mean, I really liked that one. It's really interesting. I'd be very disappointed if Rick goes. I mean, I don't mind that with the story right now, because I'm really interested in what's going on with Hope and who's after her, to be honest. Like, I feel like we could do a couple of episodes without even acknowledging the school or Rick or anything. Like, she could just be going down on a dark path. She could be driving. She could be attacking. There could be people coming after her. We could just make a whole episode, 2 episodes around her hunting down this people, around that people hunting down her, and about all the action in between. While obviously you've got them, the school on that side, panicking about Rick, the relationships over there, and how they're going to obviously try and get Hope. So I think that there is high potential. Now, obviously, I'm gutted that Rick's in the position that he is. Of course I am, because I actually really enjoy Rick. I think he's a great character, and I do think the show would absolutely suffer massively if he left. Yeah, we've had Raph leave and the possibility of Landon leaving, and they are big characters. Landon's probably the biggest one so far, but again, there's a possibility that he's still alive because we've seen him with the Necromancer as Malvo in the last episode. And then, obviously, I think Rick will be the biggest one. He's got a connection to everyone, like massive connection. To the school, to the twins, to Hope. He's just mad. And I feel like the show needs him. So I don't think they can pull the trigger and get him out of the show. But I feel like they can make him look like he's suffering. That can have an impact on everybody. And it can have a ripple effect in everyone's decisions. Now, when Hope gets her humanity turned back on, whenever that is, it's going to be crazy to see. Because we've seen everybody react differently when it's turned on, when all the like all the feelings come rushing back. You know, we've seen it when it happened to Damon in the very end of season 8, the Vampire Diaries. You know, it affected him massively. We've obviously seen Caroline go off in a mad spiral. You know, Elena, she was mad as well. So like, it's interesting to see once the humanity switch gets turned back on and they get all the information, that you know, everybody goes off on a Madden. And I want to see if like Hope's going to be absolutely devastated with the actions that she's took so far. But again, I think it's got high potential. I think we started off the best season that we've had out of all 4 seasons, which to me is a massive bonus. I'm definitely hoping that it's been renewed for season 5. If it's not, I'd be absolutely devastated, because we've just transitioned into the Tribrid and we're already seeing the impact of it. I think that the build-up has been so good for it, obviously around the end of season 3, and obviously how good we started season 4, that we have just improved the show. I just think that her getting this Tribrid side activates so many possibilities. They can have so many stories. Yeah, she is Klaus's daughter. Look at how many people come after Klaus. Look at how savage Klaus was, right? Klaus was an absolute savage when he was introduced, and then as he grew older, he grew more compassionate, he grew more loving, but he still kept his old, you know, what would you say it, like alpha ways, you know, dominant ways. He was still, I'm the strongest, I'm Klaus Michelson, if you don't listen to me, you're getting taken out. But he also cared so much about his family. Hope's in that position where she's, mess with me, I'll take you out, and she doesn't care about her family right now because obviously the emotions are turned off. But when we can get to that stage where she does care about them and she is the alpha and there's still massive threats, there's so many avenues that we can go down. But right now I'm fully invested in who's behind the phone. It sounds like Emma. Is it Emma? It wouldn't make any sense if it was. That's all I'm going to say. It sounds like her, but it wouldn't make sense to me if it was, unless we got another background story. It's kind of giving me Greta vibes as well. So, I mean, again, good episode. Cannot believe we have to wait another week. You know, 7 days now is devastating. But that is the beauty of the show, because it's keeping us engaged, and that means that when it comes to next week, we're going to be like, get in there, mate, another episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.